Hi, my name is Jess and I'm a psychology student studying behaviour modification. I'm here today to talk to you about some behavioural strategies you can use to help overcome the problem of scalp picking, which is officially known as dermatillomania of the scalp. Dermatillomania of the scalp is a habitual behaviour where a person constantly picks at irregularity, scabs and irritations on the scalp. It can often be an unconscious habit caused by boredom, stress, nervousness or even anxiety. Scalp picking can quickly become a problem if it's not addressed. It can exacerbate underlying skin conditions such as psoriasis or eczema, and it can cause hair to fall out. It can cause wounds on the scalp to bleed, weep, or even become infected. And it also leads to unsightly flakes and scabs in your hair and on your shoulders, which is a problem for personal presentation. There are many options to help you stop picking at your scalp, and it's a good idea to employ several of them to form a combined approach. First, try to think about why you pick. What are you usually doing when picking occurs? Who is present? How are you feeling? You can log all this in a pocket notepad you can take around with you throughout your day, or in a spreadsheet on your computer if you know you're going to be at your desk all day. Gather this data for about a week so you can identify triggers, patterns, and establish a baseline for the amount of times you pick in a typical day. If you suspect your picking might be related to an underlying skin condition, please consider going to see your GP, as they might be able to prescribe ointments or shampoos that will help calm the irritation and help you to pick less. If not, consider whether you might need to use an over-the-counter anti-dandruff shampoo. There's a good range available in supermarkets and some stronger varieties in chemists. If your scalp isn't itchy, then there's no need to scratch. Once you've got your irritation controlled, it's worth considering other approaches to help make picking less desirable. Keep your fingernails trimmed short and find ways to keep your hands busy when you're engaging in activities you've identified as being triggers for your picking. I like to do French knitting while I'm watching TV or movies or listening to lecture podcasts. If your picking is related to stress or anxiety, it's important to find ways to manage those factors. Some people like meditation, prayer, mindfulness, and some people find exercise helpful in reducing anxiety. If you're not sure what works for you, I'd suggest trying a yoga or body balance class at your local gym just to see if you find it helpful. Consider implementing reminders not to pick. Ask your co-workers, friends, and family to point out when you're scratching your head. Some people also find hair dye to be helpful in controlling their picking. If you dye your hair a dark colour, for the first couple of weeks after colouring, your fingernails will pick up that residue every time you scratch, serving as a visual reminder to keep those hands away from your scalp. Do exercise caution, however, as applying harsh chemicals to an intensely irritated scalp is not recommended. Each week, set a daily goal for the amount of times you want to reduce your scalp picking to, and reduce this number weekly. For every day you don't exceed your goal, give yourself a pat on the back and some kind of reward. Share your achievements with your spouse, your flatmates, your family or your friends. After a few weeks, you might like to look back at the original baseline figures you've recorded to see how far you've come. If you haven't made any improvement or if you've relapsed badly, have a think about trying some other strategies until you find the ones that work best for you. There are many blogs and testimonials online you can refer to where people share the strategies that work to help them stop picking. The good news is that the same itch-scratch cycle that caused your picking to get worse will also work in reverse. The less you pick, the less irritated your scalp will be and the less you'll need or want to pick it. The longer you stick to this, the better you'll get. I hope you found this presentation useful in helping you or someone you care about to overcome the irritating problem of scalp picking.